All right, here we go. This will probably be, I hope, one of my most favorite YouTube videos I ever make. So, welcome. My name is Kat Hutchings, and I have been selling on Etsy for 12 years now. And I have finally, after kicking this can down the road for several years now, I probably started having this weird desire pull. Have you ever felt that in your life? It was a little bit new to me to share with other people how I've been able to be so successful on Etsy. Now, it's interesting because I started the business 12 years ago. I'm not even 100% sure. I think Etsy has only been around for something like 15 years. I didn't mean to start the business. It's a whole other story. We'll even save that for another day. But I started making some handmade jewelry, and slowly over time it grew and grew and grew. It's now got to the point where I have a team of 5. We're still small. I love it, but I am able to do something I love, coming up with new designs constantly. It's this beautiful creative outlet. And I get to set my own schedule, have flexible times. And I know that I feel very blessed. And after you do a business for so long, when you start something new, there's a lot of pushing and a lot of work and a lot of unknown and a lot of learning that happens. But eventually, at least in my case, it gets to a point where that becomes slightly less difficult. And that's kind of where my business is at now on Etsy. That's the majority of where I sell. I have one other platform, other things in the work. I'm really excited to continue to grow these businesses. But I feel like with everything that's been happening in the world in the last couple of years, and if you're going to watch my YouTube channels, this is like one of the most embarrassing things is sometimes I can get a little bit emotional when I talk about this stuff, to my chagrin, but I'm trying to accept that's just a part of who I am and it's okay. But I said I'm doing this in one take. There will be no edits, because if I try to start editing my videos in this amazing professional way, I'll never get it done. Like I said, I've been thinking about doing this for a long time. So it's all going to be very raw and unscripted. I'm on this path that I've never walked before. I wanted to walk the path to make sure it was going to be a good place to film. And I'm like, you know what? Wherever it takes me, because I feel like we're all a little bit on that journey right now. So I just looked up this stat, so someone correct me here if I'm wrong. It may not be exact, but I just read that in 2019, there were about 2 million active sellers on Etsy. In 2020, that number doubled to about 4 million. Now, why am I telling you this? Is that sounds, perhaps maybe that could sound even discouraging to some of you out there who are maybe on Etsy, newer to Etsy, just wanting to grow that, have this idea, something brought you here. There's a reason. I think I have posted one other video on YouTube, and I feel like it was very not my style. I tried to watch all these videos, how to make YouTube videos, and you're supposed to have a script and you're supposed to keep it succinct, and I did it, and I'm like, I look back and I'm like, that's not me. That's not my style. So the videos are going to be very unscripted, but I feel like they need to be made because there are so many people out there who making money on Etsy, selling something that you have either created, designed, putting something into the world that wasn't there. I know you are feeling pulled to that. Like, I know the people watching this video, there is something that has led you here. There's something that has led me here. And that can be a little bit life-changing sometimes. I know, like, when I think about what selling things on Etsy, whether it's supplies or vintage or handmade goods, like, with the way things have been, with the great resignation, people leaving their jobs, there's, guys, I don't need to list all this stuff. There's childcare. There's so many things happening that if I can help someone, I've got to do it. It's just the smallest thing, but I'm here today because I know you can do it. And I know I have knowledge and skills that I would love to share with you. So, I'm making this YouTube channel for you to have a place and come and ask your questions. Now, I realize there are a lot of amazing Etsy resources out there. There truly are. And I hope on this channel that I can even point you in a lot of those directions. So many people have helped me along the way. So many resources. There's other YouTubers, there's podcasts, there's blogs, there's Etsy itself actually has some amazing resources that sometimes sellers aren't even aware of. So that's going to be the purpose of this channel. So what I would love, a little while ago, I started this kind of side business where I have a listing in my Etsy shops, which, by the way, are Spotlight Jewelry and Moonlight Supplies. I threw up this coaching listing where I was like, hey, if you need help with your shop, you can purchase this session, and together we will be able to look at your shop, go through everything. I will tell you, here's where to focus your time, your energy, make these tweaks, these changes. And I love doing that. And the response has been really positive. But I also realized very quickly that when you're sometimes struggling to make money on Etsy, paying for that resource can sometimes be yet another stumbling block. There's so many just things in the world, and I'm like, I don't need any more people don't need any more stumbling blocks. I'm here to help. So I thought YouTube would be a great option to reach as many people as possible and be able to help them in a sustainable way, because there's only so many. There's just one person. I'm still running. I actually, like I said, I run 2 Etsy shops right now full time. I'm a mom. I volunteer. I have lives and hobbies and things I love to do. And so the time, there's no way I could help every single person individually, but I know YouTube is a way that I can reach other people and just share some of the things I've learned along the way that can hopefully help you and your beautiful gifts. Like, I am so in love with Etsy and the sellers and the community because of what it represents. I love keep commerce human. Like, I'm not on Amazon right now. I've again, Etsy, 12 years. That's not saying that we won't make lots of future videos about all kinds of fun stuff and different ways to grow business. And that's another thing I think that's really important to me about this channel is people realize, like, I am not the Etsy expert. Please don't ever look at me and think that I have all the answers and everything I've done in my business is correct and the way to do it, because that goes against just a lot of things I believe in life. I think we're all on different paths, different journeys. The things that worked for me may not work for you. And maybe this style, maybe this channel is not for you either. And that is completely fine. Like, wherever you're being pulled, I'm trying 2022. I didn't set any goals. I didn't set any New Year's 2022 goals. And I was like, one of the things I just want to focus on is trying to lean more into being just in alignment with, what's a better word? I like to call it sometimes like the universe, the spirit, God. There's so many different ways people reference your own intuition, luck, like whatever. There's this force that you can just feel sometimes, you know? And where am I supposed to be? Like where am I being led? And that's right now, it's on this path, making this video, talking to you and your situation. And I don't have the time right now to devote to learning how to become the best YouTuber, to learn the algorithm, to learn the keywords and all of that. Etsy, well, we're going to be talking about that all day, every day. I've got that down to beautiful science. Sometimes, again, not perfection. This channel, I am here to learn and grow with you and share my story and experience along the way. I'm very big into love and positivity and just doing your best and allowing people the grace, forgiveness to let them try to do the same. So I would love for this to be a very safe, open space where you can come and ask your questions and find out more. How can I help you live that dream, that seed that is planted inside of you for whatever you want to create on Etsy? Why? And again, I say Etsy right now, that's where I'm going to be focusing at this moment, because that's where I am, and that's where I feel like at this moment I have a lot to give and to share with people. But overall, it's more just going to be about the journey and learning and growing together. And I'm really excited. My vision is to hopefully have some of those others. Like, I know there's other Etsy coaches and other Etsy sellers that have sold way more than me. Like right now, between the two shops, I've done over 100,000 sales on Etsy, but there's sellers that have done 1 million sales. And I'm like, I don't know how they did. I mean, it's taken me 12 years to get to this point. And at this point, I'm seeing kind of like rapid acceleration because I've learned so many different tips and tactics and things to implement, processes, like just ways to look at it and to grow that I can share with other people. But I know there's so much even more out there that I still don't know, and I would love to learn as well. So that's the purpose of today's video. Now, like I said, I already have several students, people I've coached before, and hopefully some of you guys are out there. I think I'm going to try tech. You will learn quickly is not my thing. Like, not even in the slightest. I'm terrible at it. It's very scary and very overwhelming to me. And that's why I'm telling you, if anything, if you don't get anything else from this video, except who is this crazy girl talking on YouTube about Etsy and whatever, if I can make this YouTube video, figure out, like, post it to YouTube, have the courage to put it out there, I promise you can grow your Etsy shop. You can start your Etsy shop. And I just hope I can, like, kind of help you on that journey. Look for in the future, I was telling you, so the people I've coached, that's what I always have been telling them for months now. I've been doing these coaching sessions. Maybe you can relate to this, and you're like, you know, maybe your friends are like, oh, how's your Etsy shop doing? You know, how you gonna start your Etsy shop? How's it going? And you're like, oh, it's good. You know, I haven't had much time to do it, whatever. Wherever you're at. Or maybe you're like me, maybe you're already pretty successful and you're just looking for that extra nudge. I believe so much in the ripple effect. And it's like, if you know, I've been so blessed with these sales and this gift and this job that I love. I can now help other people learn how they can do the same. Like, it's like, you know, the little candle analogy. You light one candle and sometimes it seems so overwhelming. Like, it's just one person, you know, it doesn't matter, but it does. Like, I've seen it. There's so many people who I will probably never meet. It's even like funny side tangent, but do you have like a favorite TV show or something that lights you up? And I've thought about this before. You know, we sometimes think of like movie stars and they're like, oh, they're so famous and untouchable. But I think there's people, like, I probably will never meet them, but there's this one, I'll just go ahead and, like, I'm a big Walking Dead fan. I don't know why. It's just kind of been my jam forever. And there's like a couple characters on there that I'm like, man, this actor who's played this character, they make me so happy. I love their character on the screen. I will probably never meet them. They'll probably never have any idea. I'm sure they have really hard days. Like, that's probably a really hard job, especially for this particular TV show. I've heard it gets like super hot. I think they film it in Georgia and they're like sweating and zombie makeup and all the things. But it's like, thank you for showing up and for doing that, because that's made a difference in my life. Like, you have brought me, this person who you will never meet, so much joy. I love watching that show. I watch it with my husband. I've watched it with friends. Like, we sit around, we talk about it. Like, there are so many people and things like that in my life where these people never know that they've touched me and enhanced my life. But, you know, I'm here, I'm able to give. And so that's kind of like, that's where I want to be. That's where I feel right now in 2022, what I would like to focus some of my attention on. I have to learn all of this stuff. Like, I'm constantly in there plugging away at my business, reading blogs, listening to podcasts, learning all I can, trial, error. And I'm like, I have to do this stuff anyways. Why can't I just spend a little time to share that with other people? Like, I'm going to have, so that's, you know, making videos like, hey, I'm trying this thing. This is working. This is not. This has worked. Try this, do this. So with the people I've been coaching, that's what I always have been telling them. They're like, oh, this was so great, you know, doing our sessions and stuff. And I'm like, someday I want to do a YouTube channel. Someday I'll do it. And I'm like, you know, we talk about different strategies and stuff for them to implement. And you gotta, you know, if you're gonna talk the talk, walk the walk. And I'm always like, it's like if someone were to be like, oh yeah, someday I'll list that new product or get around to taking those new photos. And I'm like, no, do it now. That's where the YouTube channel is. I have been saying this for so long. So if you are one of those people that I've already worked with and coached with, this is me committing. This is me showing up. This is me doing it. There's already, I'm going to make another, I know my first video I'm going to make, it'll be probably short and sweet. Hopefully, maybe not with me. Maybe that's not even possible. One of the girls I was working with was asking me about some packaging questions. And because I'm always like, you can message me if you have questions, I'm happy to help. So she'd kind of messaged me about that. And I said, you know what? Let me make a YouTube video about it. And I'm going to post it and share it with you, because that's going to be a lot easier than me sitting down typing it out. And again, the more I've been working one-on-one with sellers, the more I'm finding a lot of the questions are very similar. Definitely not all the same, but they have similar veins and themes. And I'm like, if I can get this information out to like as many sellers as possible, like how great is that if we can all just together, you know, as this community continue to learn and grow. And the more our shops improve, the more people have a better experience shopping on Etsy. And they tell their friends like, hey, I found this amazing thing that this person created and the customer service was awesome. I love Etsy. I love shopping on Etsy. So that fuels, you know, more sales and more opportunities for all of us. It's, again, I don't know if you've heard it for lack of cliches or trending terms, but kind of like that, the thought of abundance. And there is so much to go around if you're in kind of like that right frame of mind, if that makes sense. So this is it. This is no edits. This is first take. I'm turning around on my path because I kind of ran out of space there a little bit. So I think that's probably going to wrap this one up for now. Please subscribe if you would like to join this journey with me. I promise. So my commitment to you is I will show up, share as much as I can, help wherever I can. And I ask that you come receptive, ready to learn, but also still ready to give, to help, to learn and grow together. I would love if you do have questions. I will try my very best. I am one person, I'm still running my businesses, living my life. But if you have questions, I would love to hear those. Hopefully, if you could try to make them questions that you genuinely have not been able to find answers to, because I do know there's some, like I said, there's some great resources out there. So, you know, things like how do I list my first item, or, you know, those are important things, and I want you to know those and not get tripped up by them. But I do know that there are probably some answers already out there, and I don't want you to feel discouraged at all, like, oh, I don't want to ask a question in case it's already out there. Ask away, please. Like, I will do my best to answer them. On YouTube. I know I'd even like to maybe try to get a podcast version going of this. I'm like, is that super hard to get the audio off of YouTube and put it on a podcast, just because I know I listen to a lot of podcasts while I'm driving to and from kind of like my office every day. So I would love to give people that chance to just hear and be motivated and inspired, learn while they're, working out, folding laundry, whatever. That's tends to be when I'm kind of like listening to my podcast. But for now, YouTube, I think, is kind of going to be my spot. I will be honest, I'm not a big social media person personally. I don't get on it a lot. I don't know if I'll be able to form a Facebook community or group or something like that at this point, but I am very open to your questions in the comments. That's probably going to be the easiest way at this point to get a hold of me and ask your questions, and I will be doing my very best. My goal, I'm going to put it out there, I think I'd like to try to make one video a week to help you guys out. So again, just if you think of anything, if there's anything you've kind of been searching for, and even if I don't know the answer in full, I would love to just make a video where we can kind of collectively talk about this and have people, hey, do you have an answer? Has anyone experienced this? Do you want to drop some stuff in the comments? Here's what I've learned. Like, for example, really quick, the Etsy ads. I'm so, like, my Etsy ads, I cannot get them to work as well as I would like. I'm getting them to work in some ways not. Again, I would love to make a video about that and share with you guys what I'm finding. See if anyone else out there knows something that I am missing, because I'm like, this is so hard. Why is this so, like, why do I have an Etsy? Why do I put my Etsy ads budget as like $15 a day and Etsy will only spend 10 of it? Like, why won't they spend the other 15? I would like them to try to promote these items. Anyway, it's a whole thing. So that's all for today. That is the official first video. And it's if you have a minute, you can go back and watch my last one, which is like my top 5 tips, which are all still really good and relevant. Again, it's just the format and way I feel like I did it. It's not going to be my favorite. So going forward, I'm going to be doing my best. If I can completely learn this whole new YouTube thing and try to figure this out as I'm running my Etsy shops, like it's just, like I said, we're all in this learning process together. So I hope wherever you are, literally in the entire world, I'm out here in Arkansas, beautiful little January 2022 day. I hope you have a fabulous week. Know that I'm here to help, and just let me know your questions, and I will be making that packaging video coming up, and we'll kind of go from there. All right. Thank you guys so much.